Hey you guys, I'm gonna do something different on my show. Oh, by the way, I'm Zach, and this is Scary Hard. I normally do video games and do let's plays of video games, horror games specifically, and some difficult games. I also want to do some just little fun things that I like, talking about. For example, I'm going to start doing discussions now on my channel, and I'll discuss things that I like talking about. One of the things I really like talking about is anime. I mean, look at my shirt right here. Bam. But let's go ahead and talk about my topic. Basically, I wanted to talk about Naruto and where Naruto kind of went downhill for me. I love the show Naruto. I think it's one of the best shonen animes that has come out, I guess, in just forever. Naruto is actually the show that helped introduce my wife into anime. I was always an anime fan. I used to watch Dragon Ball Z and Toonami and stuff back in the day. It was real fun shit. And, if you're a 90s kid, you're gonna know Toonami and how much fun that came on. I remember Fridays and Saturdays when Dragon Ball Z would come on, how fucking hype that shit was. I remember Naruto. I remember back in middle school when Naruto first came out and stuff like that, where it was the Gaara versus Rock Lee match, and I remember sitting at the lunch table and just so hyped. People had lunch boxes of Naruto and stuff like that, and we were all talking about who we think we're gonna win in the next fight, and we had so many discussions over it. It was the best shit ever. But let me go ahead and explain some of my gripes with Naruto and where I think the show should have ended, in my opinion. Now, I'll go ahead and explain where I thought the show was going to end. Let me turn on some music actually real quick. I thought the show was supposed to end, or at least, in my opinion, should have ended, was the Pain arc. And I think the Pain arc was actually superior in almost every way than the Martyr arc. Now, I know Martyr arc and Pain arc, I'm sure there's probably a different name for those arcs, and I'm probably just generalizing over a broad, there's probably multiple arcs in there, but you guys know what I'm talking about, right? They're like the Ninja Wars and the Pain arc with the, the Akatsuki guys, And I just thought that the Pain arc was just superior in almost every way. And I remember back in middle school and I think early high school for me, people used to talk about Martyra in such a way where they just love the character. And even till this day, I've seen people with tattoos of Martyra on their arm. And I think Martyra, back in the day when I first watched Martyra in the Ninja Wars or whatever, I thought Martyra was such a shitty villain, in my opinion. I know I'm gonna get some crap in the comment section if you guys watch this and you're a Naruto fan for saying that, but I think Martyra was such a bad villain, just written, just the writing for his character it was jumbled mess. The arc was a jumbled mess. The power ceiling in the show was a jumbled mess. And I'm going to go ahead in this discussion and explain why I think the Pain arc is superior than the Martyr arc, and why I think the show should have ended in the Pain arc and just never went on with the Martyr arc in the first place. Let me go ahead and explain. So number one, the power ceilings in the show just get way out of whack after the Pain arc. For example, during the Pain arc, right, Pain is an overbearingly strong character. I mean, even, Jiraiya, right? Jiraiya is supposed to be an S tier, Hokage-beating strong ninja. He's supposed to be one of the best in the world. This is supposed to be where, S tier ninjas are afraid of him. So he's the S tier of the S tier. He's top 500, and he's the 1% of that. Jiraiya could have beaten Pain. I think Pain even explains that he could have gotten beat by Jiraiya if Jiraiya knew all the information. But Jiraiya gets the shit in the stick, ends up dying, and that's also a huge highlight for the Pain arc. So, Naruto never really had a father. I know he has a father, and we get into that shit later in the show, but he never really had, a father figure with him. And Jiraiya was kind of that father figure in Naruto. Him dying and him being his master, getting killed by Pain, which is actually supposed to be the antithesis of Naruto. They even kind of look alike. Their hairdo looks alike. They got trained by the same I was about to say coach for some reason. The same master, Jiraiya, trained them both. The difference between Naruto and Pain, right? Sorry, I got a cold in me a second. The difference between Naruto and Pain, right? Naruto is an optimist. He's always I will do the best I can, and no matter what, I'm going to go ahead and follow my dreams. He wanted to become the Hokage. What what's cool about Naruto is that he has basically the devil inside him, right? He has the nine-tailed fox. By the way, I think the nine-tailed fox should have always stayed evil. This is just a side note. Should have always stayed evil and never became like a good guy later in the show. I mean, he's supposed to be like the devil in the show. He's always been like this pure evil entity, and everyone's supposed to be afraid of Naruto because of that. But they later go down the road and he's like, oh, the devil had a change in heart? That's fucking stupid. But anyways, let's get on topic. So Naruto is possessed by the devil, basically. He has the devil locked away inside him. He's supposed to be, basically, he's supposed to be like destined for bad things to happen to him. He's supposed to be like the unluckiest person on the planet. He's not supposed to be like this, this savior that's supposed to come and save everyone. He's got the shit in the stick. He's not a natural at anything. He has no natural powers. The monster inside him, everyone's afraid of him. Nobody likes talking to him. He's just an outcast, right? He's an outcast. He's an underdog, and that's why you want to see Naruto proceed. And the fact that he's an optimist is the only reason that he didn't become bad. You know, that's what Pain's supposed to be. Pain is supposed to be Naruto if Naruto was a pessimist. That's basically the gist of it. The difference is between Naruto, like, physically and Pain, is that Pain had, I forget what the purple eyes are called, like, you know, fuck me, right? But anyways, the purple eyes, it's supposed to be like this really rare power that you're supposed to get, and you're supposed to be like the chosen one. So, Pain's supposed to be like the chosen one, supposed to be inherently more powerful than everybody. He has all the cards on his side. But yet, because he's a pessimist and bad things happen to him, he went down the dark path. He went down the path of basically evil. That's kind of the difference between Naruto and Pain. They're both supposed to be the same character in a sense, right? They got trained by Jiraiya. One is supposed to be destined for bad, which is actually Naruto, and one's supposed to be destined for greatness, which is Pain. But Pain, just because of his own lack of will, he goes down the dark path, and Naruto, because of his happy-go-lucky, I guess you'd say, the way he has his outlook on life, he becomes the underdog that everyone's rooting for. And that's what's so cool about the Pain fight, is that Naruto and Pain are actually very, very similar to each other. They had almost the same exact upbringing. And that's why it's so cool in Naruto at the end, where he could have killed Pain, but he decided to talk to him. Naruto goes to Pain and does the opposite of the Joker. He basically does the opposite of the Joker. That's kind of the gist of it. I was trying to explain it in a different way for some fucking reason, but anyways, he goes to Pain, and he says, yo, bro, like, we're like the same people. I know you've had problems, like, I'm here to help you. You know, you don't have to go down the same road. I forget exactly what Naruto says. Pain is, like, on the verge of being good, and all Naruto had to do was just explain to him, and he pushed him over into the good side, you know, showing, he almost had kind of like a Luke Skywalker moment, you know, with Darth Vader. You know, like, Darth Vader's supposed to be like this, like, just pinnacle of evil, but Luke Skywalker saw the little, you know, the glimpse of good in him, and pushed him over back into light. Now, Naruto wasn't, you know, didn't take the most evil person on the planet and change him to a good guy, but he did that to Pain because Pain was like Naruto, where Naruto could have been on the verge of evil, but he was an optimist, and Pain was a pessimist and became the dark side. So that is what's so cool about that. The other cool thing about Naruto, right? Naruto was never, at least in my head, you know, Naruto later down the road, after the Pain saga, he becomes like just this god, right? He becomes so fucking powerful that he doesn't really have to use, like, tactics. And it kind of happens with actually all the characters, to be honest with you, later in the show, past the Pain saga, and they go into, like, the Madara fight and stuff like that. It becomes more of, like, that sort of, I guess, that Dragon Ball Z-esque, like, Dragon Ball Z type of shit, where it's basically like, whoever fucking hits the other person just a little harder, like, you know, I just gotta push past my limits, and then we can beat this guy. That's also why I don't like Madara, because Madara, there was never, like, a weakness that Madara had, right? I feel like in the show before the Madara arc or whatever, everybody had, like, a small weakness. The problem was that you had to figure it out. Once you figured out the weakness, you could exploit the weakness and beat them. Pain, for example, had all these different, like, characters, I guess you'd say, like, I don't know what you call them, dummies, right? He had, like, the dummy bodies, and they all had specific powers, very, very good, in a team fight, almost like Overwatch. If Lucio's on your team in Overwatch, he's not good by himself, but if he's with Reinhardt and like a damage character and they're all like together, because Lucio's very good and he can make everyone move faster. I'm using Overwatch terms now because I like video games. He's very powerful with the team. But if you segregate them, then you can beat them really easily. So that's kind of like what Pain's thing was. He's basically like an Overwatch team, and if you separate the characters, you can kick their ass really easily. So that was what's so cool, is that he had to separate the characters, which was very difficult, and then once he was able to separate them, he could beat them individually, which I thought that was really cool. Martyr never had like a weakness. He was just so fucking powerful that it was almost like everybody was Bambi, and he was fucking Godzilla. And there's nothing you could do against him unless you just had the firepower. For example, like Might Guy, right? Might Guy fucking went into Super Saiyan God mode in his last, his last breath to go ahead and kill Martyr, and he still couldn't fucking kill Martyr. It's just stupid. They should have ended it with, like, in my opinion, if they were gonna end that end that saga, or that in the Martyr arc, whatever if you wanted to end the Martyr arc, cool, they should have had Might Guy kill him. To be honest, he'd sacrifice his life, kill him, have an ending death, and be like, yeah, cool, Might Guy beat him, or whatever, using his last breath. I think that would have been cooler, but they just, there were so many stages to fucking, to Martyr. It was like, dude, it was like, breathtaking in a bad way. All the characters in the beginning had some sort of weakness, and they just didn't later in the show. Another thing too is that, right, Naruto was never supposed to be like the most powerful ninja in the world. At least that's what I thought. I already said that, but I'm just rehashing because I got off topic. Naruto was supposed to be a underdog. He was never supposed to be natural. I feel like the characters that should have become like the most powerful is someone like Sasuke, where they're just naturally gifted, and they, if they worked as hard as Naruto, they become the best. But I think Naruto, what made him cool, right, is that he was never supposed to be the best. And for example, his goal to become Hokage, you're not supposed to be the best ninja. Hokages are strong, but they're not the most powerful ninjas on the planet. They just have good leadership, and they're good at rallying people, basically. It's good leaders. That's the gist of it. He wants to become Hokage, and that's good. But Hokage was never supposed to be his main goal. Now, I know people are probably like, the fuck are you talking about, Zach? Like, all he talked about was becoming Hokage. Think about it this way. Hokage is just a job, like becoming the president, or being a firefighter, or being a paramedic, or a police officer. Now, when they're young, and they say, oh, like, I want to become a firefighter when I'm older, or I want to become a police officer, or I want to become the president, it's not because they want the fucking job, right? It's because they want something that comes with that job. For example, if you want to be a police officer, it's either A, you're just power hungry, right? You're just like, I want to shoot somebody, or something like that. That's usually not the police officers. I'm just fucking with you guys. But they want to be able to protect people. They're like, I want to be that person to protect weak people that need help. That's what a kid, when they say they want to be a police officer, wants. That what they want that job for is to be able to protect people. It's not because they want to do paperwork after they go to a person's house and it's a domestic abuse. You know what I mean? That's not the thing that they wanted to do the job for. It's to protect somebody. Just like if a kid wants to become a firefighter, it's because they want to be able to help people, or paramedic. It's to save people. To save and heal people. It's not because they want to have that job and drive. Like I'm a fucking medic, right? It was never like I wanted to have that job so I could go off and do 12-hour long hauls, right? It's because I wanted to be able to protect people. So when Naruto said he wanted to become Hokage, it wasn't because he wanted the job. The reason he wanted to become Hokage is because he wanted to be respected, right? He wanted to be respected by the whole village. He never had that respect his entire life. He was always looked down upon because of his demon that he had in him, and people always shunned him because of that. So when he said, I want to become Hokage, it wasn't because he wanted the fucking job. It was because he wanted to be respected by the village. He never needed to become Hokage, period, in the show. Never. He never needed to be Hokage. I'm just saying that from the start. What he should have been is, once he saved the village, remember at the end of the Pain arc, where he saves the village and he beats Pain and everybody gets resurrected after, even Kakashi, right? He has that moment with his father in heaven, I guess, or was it Limbo? I think it was Limbo. And Naruto brings him back and stuff like that. That was such a fucking touching moment. And when everybody came, I remember my wife crying when she was pregnant. I know she was pregnant, so there's the chemicals and the hormones and shit like that. But for me, I was getting a little touchy-feely too. When the whole crowd runs up to him and picks him up in the air, and Naruto's like, I saved everybody, and everybody respects Naruto, then that is when the show should have ended. Right there. That is when the show should have ended, in my opinion. He didn't need to become Hokage. The aspect, the prospect of him becoming Hokage was there. He was respected by everybody. He saved the entire village, did everything right. He broke past all the barriers that he had when he was a kid and become this proud ninja that everybody wanted. Also, too, with Sasuke. Sasuke killed his brother and had that touching moment where, like, the brother, like, touched him in the face and then died. That was the end of his arc there, too. It built up with the pain arc. Everything was so good. All the Akatsuki guys, they all died. That's where it should have ended. I think Obito was the only one who got away, but, like, they just should have fucking forgot about him. Naruto saved the village and got respect by everybody. Perfect. Kakashi got to talk to his father and make amends with his father. Fucking perfect. Naruto got to talk, he got to chain up the what is it called? The nine-tailed fox, right? He imprisoned him. He never had to worry about his stupid ass again. He got to use his powers whenever he wanted. Perfect. I didn't like how they made the nine-tailed fox like a demon, or not a demon, like a good demon later in the show. He should have just stayed as, like, the devil, period. They didn't need to go into that. They should have just kept it there where he took control of the nine-tailed fox. He never has to worry about it again. He got to make amends with his mother and father. That was fucking touching moment. Fucking Sakura became a badass when she beat that puppet guy's ass, right? She has a reason to exist now, unlike she was, like, just this useless bitch before. Jiraiya did his bit where he taught Naruto everything he needed to know before he died. Fucking perfect. Everything was wrapped up in such a perfect fucking bow in the Pain Saga that they didn't need to, like, do anything else. They didn't need to do anything else. And I feel like they kind of just squandered everything later in the show. I guess the only good parts about the Martyr arc was Obito and Kakashi having, like, the background stuff with them. That was really cool. Some of the certain characters in the different villages we never got to see. That was really cool. What else? To be honest with you guys, I really don't like the Martyr arc. Like, I didn't like Martyr as a bad guy. I didn't like the war. The war kind of sucked and dragged on way too long. People were just fucking hitting each other really hard. There was almost no chess game in the fights anymore. Naruto became way too powerful. Sasuke became way too powerful. All the characters just became, like, these just broken characters that can just do whatever they want. Like, Pain was already supposed to be very powerful. Jiraiya is supposed to be one of the most powerful ninjas. And then, like, when you look at them compared to, like, the later characters, it's like light years difference. It's not even close. And, I don't know, the Martyr arc was just so messy and just so bad. And there was so much filler hell. And one of the worst things about that arc, too, is that, like, as you watch the fight between Martyr and all the different ninjas and stuff like that, they just, like, skip to, like, random fucking plot points that was just, like, filler. I have no clue why. It was goddamn awful. There's too many different stages between Martyr and, like, the different fight. It's just, like, they should have just ended it, like, just way beforehand. And they didn't need to add anything extra to the show. There's so many, like, it just got collected. It was just tightly wrapped in, like, a perfect fucking bow after the Pain arc, and it should have just ended there. And I feel like that happens a lot with shonen animes, right? It's like they had something good, and then, like, they forget what the show was about later down the road. For example, Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z should have ended at the most the Cell arc, because Gohan was always supposed to be, like, a powerful character that they wanted to show, like, his potential later, and that's kind of what the Cell arc was about, was showing how powerful Gohan was going to become. But to be honest with you, the real, like, climax of Dragon Ball Z was definitely the Frieza saga. That's basically it. When Frieza was there and Goku beat Frieza and he became the first Super Saiyan ever, that should have been it too. But now, look at how many years it's been now, and it's fucking Super Saiyan 20 now. It just becomes so overblown that it becomes like like a sham of what it used to be, like just like a shadow, you know, and I don't like that. So that's kind of my gist, you guys. I know I kind of rambled on a little bit. This was kind of just off the cuff. I didn't want to edit too much of this video. It's just a little discussion that I wanted to talk about, and that's kind of about it. It was just a little something that I wanted to say. Just trying to have fun with my YouTube channel. So yeah, you guys. Well, I hope you guys like my little discussion. If you guys have any comments or discussion, or if you disagree with me, fuck me up in the comment section. That'd be great. But have fun. See you guys.